building construction and property development, as well as assets management in our dear state, Osun, Nigeria at large, and a lot more from the building industry. Join Babari Oluwatobi on OSBC Television Channel 113 on Star Times and 502 on Free TV every Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 12 noon. It promises to be captivating and educating. Join us.
Yes, of course, it promises to be captivating and enlightening. That is from that one, coming from that jingle. Yes, this program is Sheltering Places. And on Sheltering Places, we discuss all forms of issues that has to do with building industry, asset management, environment, and of course, to ensure that we have those buildings that can stand the test of time. It is very important that we have all these things in place so that our society will be better for it, and those structures, those buildings there can stand the test of time. That is the hallmark and the essence of this program, Sheltering Places. On several episodes, edition of the program in the past, we have discussed, we talk about foundation, we look at why we do have building collapse, we have looked at several issues. We have looked at bridge construction, road construction, vis-a-vis issues in that area. But by the grace of God, on today's edition of the program, I already have my guests seated in the house. We'll be looking and considering building plan approval, building plan and approval. How should we go about it? What are the ways, what are the rules and the ways we follow in ensuring we have a genuine building plan and approval from government agency? And that was why I have with me in the house in discussing this topic a qualified engineer. He is correct register, and a member of Nigeria Society of Civil Engineers, and is somebody that has been practicing, who is doing fine in the field of civil engineering, structural engineering, and civil engineering. Who am I referring to? I'm referring to Engineer Musliuddin Olayinka. You are welcome on the program, sir.
Good morning, moderator. How are you doing, sir?
Fine. How was this the disease, the weather?
Oh, bless God. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yes. Just like we said in the intro, I know we said we are looking at the topic that says building plan and the approval. Somebody, a lay person who is just watching, what is building plan? What is building plan and approval? In form of introduction, how do you lead us into it? Because the program is educating and we are enlightening people too. What is building plan and approval?
Thank you very much. You see, for every masterpiece that you see out there was once a dream. And for every milestone achieved was once a goal. So when we talk of a building plan, it is a goal, a desire, a watchword that is put on paper in form of drawing. That you now engage the service of professionals to make it a reality. Building plan is a dream. It's until when you engage the service or the services of professionals that transform that idea, that dream into reality, that becomes the building or the structure that we are seeing out there. So, but if we're looking at it from the point of engineering view, I'll say a building plan is a drawing drawn to scale. Because if a building plan does not have scale, then it cannot be referred to as you must have a kind of measurement that you are, a scale that you are working to. Say 1 to 100. So it is a drawing that is drawn to a scale to show a layout, sections, design, specifications of a proposed development, or say a proposed project or building. So from the point of the introduction and engineering point of view of a building plan, you can agree that a building plan is very essential in every project that you do.
Yes, the building plan is very essential in every project that we are doing. It's also linked to one of our discussions in the past, foundation. But let's do that. So, what you have given us the definition of building plan now, and I'm able to understand that. Then why is it important that somebody have building plan? Can't I just have my land, my piece of land, and just get somebody who is who can just help me and start something on it? Why is it important for us to have building plan?
You see, when we were in school, at our elementary mathematics, there is what we call bearing and distance. And when you have a bearing, when you have a distance, it's very, very easier for you to have your way and go straight to where you are going. And Yoruba people used to say, Ibitan lo chino, Ibitan ya lo po. So, if you do not have plan, what are you even building, sir? That's one of the importance. If you do not have plan, what are you building?
What is guiding?
Well, what is a guidance? What is guiding you? So one, building plan is a guidance. Another reasons why it's so important is that it is a communication tool. When a surveyor finishes his own job, he produces a survey plan. An architect does not need to see a surveyor before he can work with a survey plan. It's a communication. When architect is done with the designs, sent to an engineer, except exceptional cases, a great area, engineer may not require the service of architects to do the setting out. Once you have a building plan, because it is a communication tool that we all understand as a professional, that okay, if you do this, this is what we are doing. If you say this, this is what we are doing. And also, if you are building without a building plan or an approved building plan, it is act of illegality.
So you have building plan and an approved building plan. So
Exactly.
there's some building plan that is not approved.
Exactly. There are a whole lot of buildings there. They have the building plan, but it is not approved. So as a compliance, and it even prevents you against future liabilities. Say the government wanted to take a development in that area, but you do not have an approved building plan. It shows, it's giving us an insight that you might not even be the true owner of that land. And that is why you see some people clamoring, some people languishing, saying that the government does not pay them compensation. The question to ask is that, do you have all the required documents? So the government will not bring down your building, will not bring down your structure, having an approved building plan and other document that is necessary. If the government does not pay you, you can actually sue that government. But when you do not have an approved document, how do you sue such government?
So what are the rudiments? What are the procedure for having an approved government document for your land?
Yeah, if you want to get an approval, definitely we have ministries, we have departments, and we have agencies as well that check. Once you see out there, once you see a building project ongoing or completed, and you see the red mark, it's either you see Ministry of Land and Physical Planning, or you see OSTDA, Osun State Capital Territory Development Authority, or you see Osogbo Local Government Town Planning Authority. So it means that it depends on the magnitude of your project and where it falls. Say for instance, if you are talking about GRAs now, Ministry of Land and Physical Planning oversees those areas. There are some land that you have to take your drawing to the local government. And you see OSTCDA that I mentioned the other, they are actually an agency that do clearance. So once, even if you have your approved
Clearance on land.
yes,
On land matters.
yes, on land matters. So if you are building, yes, it matters. You even have the town planning approval. But if you do not get clearance from them, because OSTDA, we say Capital Development Authority, it covers Osogbo, it covers Ikirun, it covers Ede, suburb of Osogbo. So those are the ministry and agency. In Lagos now, exactly. In Lagos now, we have the Ministry of Land and Urban Development, and we have LAPSCA, who is actually doing the job of OSTCDA here in Osun. So they are agency that actually come back to see that even if you have approval, are you building towards the specification or the approved plan? Because one is to have an approved plan, one is building what was approved for you.
Thank you. Well, viewers, the program in sheltering places. And on this edition of the program, we are dissecting and discussing holistic approach into the topic that says building plan, an approved building plan. Is your plan that you have, is it approved? If peradventure it is approved, do you have professionals in the built industry who are helping you to monitor that project? And just like my guest said, do you have the capital development authority, those people in charge, are they really, does your land fund under their own purview, or which area does all these things are very key and germane to us having a building that can stand the test of time and following all the procedural processes and ensuring that we get professionals in the built industry to ensure that they come and do their job, and don't forget, like we say, at the end of the day, it's going to save life and it's going to save property. Engineer Musliudeen Olayinka, moving away from that, what are the components of building plan? A building must have some component. You as an engineer in the built industry, let's go from there.
Thank you. When we're looking at the component of a building plan, these are the things that a building plan must have that will make it a comprehensive. We'll start with design layout. Okay. And this is where the architect comes in. After the surveyor might have finished his own part of the job, this is where the architect comes in, do the design layout. After the architect is done with his own job, the next is structural engineer. Okay. The next professional is what we refer to as, is either you call it MEP or you call it M&E, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Okay. There are times people felt that, why do I need mechanical or electrical engineer in my house? Is it not just to build, to put pipe, to run plumbing, or what have you? But I tell them it's because of the minute of your project that makes you say that. When this complex, this OSBC, was at Itakogun, the building you were using there was so small, but when you were coming here, it was actually a masterpiece that you felt that you will be using cable to do a live program or to transmit. Then you must definitely they involve mechanical. Okay, these are the kind of machine that I wanted to be using here. Okay, like what should we give our entrance that will be able to accommodate that machine? Okay, the electrical will be like, okay, you are passing about 10 or 15 cables through here. What kind of pipe will be able to accommodate that cable or wire that will make it pass successfully? So the mechanical and the electrical, okay, I want to tell you there is what we call smart house. Okay. Say for instance, you automate your house to make it a smart house. There was no power supply, but you went to bed to sleep. But while you were sleeping or about to, the electricity was, the power supply was restored. But you are not so sure if you have turned off the TV, the AC in the living room, or what have you. So if it is a smart house, once you have your control on the phone with you, right at the comfort of your bed, you can tell the entrance door to lock itself. Wow. What you just say, it depends on which one that you install. You just say, Alexa, close the entrance door. At the comfort of your bedroom, you can open the gate to your visitor without moving an inch.
From where you are.
From where you are. In fact, you can ask the control to close the curtain at your living room or at your bedroom without pressing a switch, just on your phone.
Probably some of our viewers will say some of these things they are capital intensive. They are capital intensive.
Of course, but you see, to make life easier, there are a lot of innovations and inventions that make it easier. So now, for somebody that wants to use a smart house, this must have been an idea, conceptualization when you were building, when you are making the building plan, so that the electrical engineer, the mechanical engineer will have been put in the picture. And another thing that are component of a building plan is what we refer to as, let's say, specific project specifications. Okay. These involve like methodology. That okay, it is an area that we have to bring equipment, large equipment. Okay, are we going to adopt in situ, or we are going to adopt a precast, where we'll do from one site and we'll bring it to, we'll do it at a yard, we'll bring it to that place. So these are the things that will be the component before you take it for, to the authority for approval.
before you take it authority to an approval. Okay. Well, our viewers, if you are just joining us, the program is role model for inquiries, for involvement, for participation, for any other thing needed to know as regards this program. And we are saying it's also calling for sponsorship. Please don't hesitate to call this number 08065052932. 08065052932 is the number to dial, is the number to call. And for sponsorship, for inquiries and any other thing that you need to know concerning this program, Sheltering Places, please don't hesitate to get to us through that number 08065052932, and you'll be glad you did. Back to you, Engineer Musliuddin. We have some document required for approval. Can we look into it? Document required for approval.
Yes, it varies from one time because the bureaucracy of each state differs. So I would say it varies from one place to another.
Okay.
But generally, the things that you need for approval, or the document that you need for approval, one is your registered survey plan done by a registered surveyor. A survey plan that shows truly that you are the owner of that land.
Because we have registered surveyor and we have quacks.
Exactly. And you see, this particular survey plan, I was involved in a project. The survey has been done about 2008 to be precise, and the person had to sold the land for us, but we cannot do another survey on that land because the survey they did before has been registered, and there is no how they are going to register a particular land for two people.
Wow.
So we had to go back to the surveyor that did the plan in 2008. That is about 16 years ago.
But I thought automatically it should be transferred. That's what the
so now, yes, it should be transferred. But the person, you cannot continue to bear the person's name because it was registered in his name. So what you do is that you are going to get the documents certifying that the person has actually sold the land to you. You will now take it to appropriate quarters to effect the changes. That this person is no longer the owner. And here are the proof that the person has sold the land for me. So a survey plan, then you must have your architectural drawing.
Okay.
So you must have your structural drawing, a comprehensive drawing, including this mechanical and electrical that I've talked about the other time. Another one is that you must have your deed of assignment, indicating that the person has sold the land to you. Another one you must have is location plan, the area, the layout. Then you must have your tax clearance up to date. We want to see if you are paying tax before we give you an approval to this. And if you want to get a C of O, of course, it is the executive governor of the state that will sign your C of O. And you must have gotten all these documents. And of course, you won't be having, for instance, for we that are structural engineers, for we that are civil engineers, we have seal that is unique to us alone. Now, if you are doing a structural drawing and you have append your signature and stamped and seal it, if anything goes wrong, that seal is traceable. They will go back to Korean, who owns this thing, and they will get your information. So that is why we are employing professionals out there. For the drawing that I'm not going to be the one to supervise, then I'm going to write a letter of identify that, okay, structure not supervised by me, I'm not liable for it. Because there are times that you do the structural drawing, but in a way to cut corner, maybe from the client or for the person that handle the project, they will do otherwise, and there will be issue, structural failures.
And then when you have fires.
Exactly, they will now come back to you. But what we'll do is that, okay, when you come back, I was not the one that supervised this project. This is my letter of alignment that I've given to them before. And if anything happens, they will try to check where the errors are like. So these are part of the documents that you needed to obtain this. So it varies from one state to another. But as far as Osun, here I'm practicing, is concerned, and I'm very sure it's almost general. I think if there's going to be a variation, it's going to be 75, about 10% or what have you. So these are the things that you must have. And there's what we call PID. That is property identification number. Okay. Yes, once you are assigned that number, it is unique. It cannot be given to another person.
Okay. Sorry to cut you short. Let me ask. Ever since you have been practicing,
yes,
over the years, your year of practice,
would you say you have enough patronage? You have people coming, clients patronizing you, following all this procedure, and if that is correct, I think we shouldn't be seeing some of these building collapse things that we see all around. What is your take on this?
You see, it is even better. Better for a professional to have the information of this, because the world is actually
Global.
it's global. There are some clients that are informed. In fact, they will have gotten all this information before coming to you.
Wow.
And they want to test your professionalism. So if you are now the one that telling them that this is not important, they will know that no, I cannot deal with
this person.
I cannot deal with this person. So, and of course, all these things that we are saying, people will start saying it is too much, it is capital intensive. But I'm telling you that all these things, if you want to prove the ownership of that building, you will have these things. If you said you do not want to have it, when the issue comes tomorrow, you will be back to square one. And that is why you see some people, they are landowner yesterday. I mean, they are a landlord yesterday, and just because they could not perfect their documents, they lost everything within a trickle of an eye.
This is very serious. Well, that's one of the essence of this program, to educate us so that we know what to do and do the needful. Because let's go quickly on this question, because the time is. What does government authority or what authority look out for
in a building? What does they look out for in a particular building to be able to say this one it's okay and it can stand the test of time?
Okay, when you take your drawings for approval to the authorities, of course they are looking at the structural. They want to see the structural stability of that house, or that building project, or that development. They want to see the safety measures that you have put in place. For instance, there are some sites that you may want to blast, and if you want to blast, if care is not taken or not handled by professional, it can affect the building in the area. In fact, it can lead to structural failure. So now there's what we call EIAR, Environmental Impact Accessibility Reports. It is mostly for commercial. Say you are building filling station, you are building a project, you must write it. What impact will this particular project have on the people around, so that it will help the government to make an informed decision or information that, okay, the people that are working in this area, you are liable to this so thing, and okay, for this also period, you have to please evacuate this place to allow this construction. And when they are done, then you can come in, maybe because of the heavy equipment or what have you. Then they want to see your level of your compliance. There is a particular site that I'm working here in Osogbo. If you will firstly submit your drawing to the estate for assessment, and you must leave like 6 meters from your building line onto the boundary of your land.
Wow.
At the front. At the driveway, you must leave 3 meters, which is 10 feet. At the back, you must leave 2 meters. All these are specifications that they have put in place at a local level to ensure that you don't roof your building and then you start having splashing of water onto the fence area. That you don't have your building where your window, that hardly will someone be able to pass between the fence and your building line or the window. There are some houses built out there that if the window is open, you have to close it first before you can pass. So they want to see that level of compliance, and of course they want to see if your building is actually in alliance with the urban development area of that particular area or the location you have. So these are the things the authority is actually looking for before they can give approval to your building plan.
Okay, because of time, finally, who approves building plan? Let's just ask, who approves building plans?
They are government departments, ministries, and agencies who are saddled, who comprises of professionals that understand,
professionals in the built industry,
that understand what they are trying to pass. Because if a report is presented to you, if you do not have the idea of it, how do you intend to approve it? It means you will be contributing to the collapse building. How there? So they are professional, say surveyor, town planner, estate valuer, and manager, that they are in charge, that they will check out for those things that are to do. So here in Osun, we have Ministry of Land and Physical Planning. Then we have our Department of Town Planning at each of the local government. And like I said earlier, we have Osun State Capital Territory Development Authority, who check the excesses or if you actually build to the specification of the clearance or the approval. that you were given.
So, in short, those people, those professionals under government,
Yes.
government agencies and ministries are in charge
Exactly.
of approving building plan.
Exactly.
Finally, in 1 minute, your word of admonition to the viewers, to the professional, to the client, and everybody, for us to have a society that can stand the test of time, buildings in the society that can stand the test of time.
Once you go out, you want to come back to relax and to prepare for the next day. And now, the house that you are coming back to, that you did not build so well or towards the specification, it means each time you put your head under that roof, then you will not sleep with your 2 eyes closed. So, in short, see building projects as life-saving, that you don't have to compromise, because when the eventualities happens, the cost of repairing it will be much more than the initial cost that you were supposed to have spent.
I want to sincerely appreciate you,
Thank you very much.
Engineer Mr. for trying to come on the program to educate us on the significance and importance of having a genuine building plan
that is approved. And I want to say that I hope next time when we call on you, you will be glad to honor our invitation.
Definitely.
Thank you. God bless you.
and this is the convenience spot to round it up on this edition of the program Sheltering Places. I want to believe you must have picked 1 or 2 things from what we discussed here. If my guest is as good as yours, why don't you make it a date with us? Because we need same time, same station next week when we have another topic to discuss. On behalf of the entire production crew and the producer Adesoye Awudeji, I am Oluwatobi Babarinde. Say bye bye. God bless you.